Hello gang, hello friends, hello gang friends. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are doing, I've totally forgotten, 0. Thank you for being here with me today. We have done Jack and Sally and a somewhat questionable Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie? I didn't determine which was the right way to say that. But we're going to do 0 today. So we're starting with Eternal Bliss and Hear Me Roar from Madame Glam, where you can get a whopping 30% off using the link in the code, the link in the description, and the code MISSJO30. Check out all the other codes because most of the stuff I use, or kind of all of the stuff I use in my videos, I have codes for those companies in the description, and I list all the things I use as well. Did you know that? Have you ever looked in the description? Some of you have. The other day, we're doing an ombre. This is going to be quite a chatty video though. Someone the other day, 2 people, had a little bit of a spending spree on, oh right, we'll talk about it in a minute. We're starting with a circle. Just a circle. Okay, let's be serious. And then we're going to square off, but a soft square. So we're going to curve off, but make it more square. 3 sides of this circle, 3 places on this circle. About 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, if the circle was a clock, we're going to do a curve out, and then, no, 9 o'clock the first one, and then 7 o'clock, curve up to meet it. I'm going to start this bit again. Zoop, 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 zoop. Okay, we're starting with a circle, professionally. We're going to be professional. We're starting with a circle. Now imagine that circle is a clock face. Okay, and then at about 3 o'clock, we're going to come out to 4 o'clock with a little curve. And then about 1 o'clock to maybe 12:30, another curve. And then 11 down to about 10, another curve. Now from 9 o'clock, we have a big curve that goes down and then comes up to the same height it started. And then one at 7 o'clock coming to meet that one. And then at 6 o'clock, another big curve. And then out from the 7 o'clock one, a curve to join the end of that one. So 2 sort of triangles, but made with curves. And then we've just done another line between the 2, which looks weird, but it will make sense in a bit. We're doing another curve from this hump down to under his mouth. That's his collar. And I'm just going over the humps that we made. But don't worry about that. I was just going over lines we already had. From his collar, we're coming out and down and out and down. As long as you're coming out and down, the wiggle is kind of whatever you want it to be. From the same point, we're going out and down and then in and down. So these are 2 sides of his body. And then just up from where that line ended, we're going to join them. But that line we just did joint the end of the first body line we did. Yeah? And I'm imagining his body coming off the page and where it would join back onto the page. So we came down a straight line there and then a curve up to his neck. And now above his brow bone, which is what those humps were on the top of the circle, we're going to do a C and then a big C back to front. Wait, yes. And then we'll mirror that next to it. I don't know why I finished this bit in a straight line. I immediately changed it. So we're copying that sort of S shape we've just done, but we're going further away from the line and then closer to the first line as we get towards the head. So it's skinnier as it joins his head, and then I just had it a bit fatter on the bend. These are his big flappy ears. And then from the other brow bone, we're going to do 2 curves so that there's a skinny tube. What the hell? A small distance between them, the 2 lines. And then we'll curve that off the page, the nail. And then this one here will curve, but you see I've made the gap between the lines thicker as it comes off the nail. And then we're imagining it coming back onto the nail, just with a little sort of pointy bit there. And then his eyes, I decided to bring his mouth further into his head, which I deeply regret. So I wouldn't do that if I was you. And then from the top of his nose, like his snout, that line that we curved out from 9 o'clock on the circle, we've taken that into the face and then curved it up to the side of the face. But I do paint over these eyes. I wish I didn't. Oh, now we're doing a kind of a 6. But imagine the top of the 6 was a lot closer to the circle of the 6. You know? Like an oval with a little... Yeah? I'll try and find something to put on screen to make that make sense. I can't describe it. And now we are going to fill the whole thing in, apart from his collar and the mouth hole, with Riverwalk, Madame Glam's Riverwalk, which I think is my favourite white of theirs. I like Perfect White, it's perfect, but I do like Riverwalk. And I've sped up this bit of filling in his body, and I do speed up when I fill the black in of his mouth, but apart from that, everything for the rest of this video is at normal speed for 2 reasons. What were the reasons? I can't remember. Oh yes, so it was a short video, so I thought it would be a good video to show real speed doing one of these characters. But bear in mind that even though it's real speed, it didn't take 20 minutes to do. It took much longer because I, you know, wipe a bit, redo it, wipe a bit, redo it. Or when my brush goes off the screen and I dip on my palette to get some polish and I bring it to the nail, I realised I've got too much polish on my brush. Wipe some back on my palette, then realise I haven't got enough. Go back to the palette and get, you know. So the actual painting is real speed, but the faffing and the redoing bits and the, you know, there's more. It took longer than 20 minutes. But I see so many videos where, you know, crazy designs are done in a short amount of time. And even though we know they've been sped up in places and we can see they've been sped up, I still kind of feel like if I can't do it in the time that video took, then I'm rubbish. And I don't want anyone to think that. So I thought this nail would be a good one to do at real speed. So that's what we're going to do. There was another reason, and I can't remember what it was. It was something about talking. Oh yeah, I might not be able to say everything I need to say. You know me, I've got a lot to say. If I do kind of speed it up a bit, because it was a short video. So it just means I don't have to talk at 50,000 miles an hour. So we're filling in the gap between I'm going to call the top part of his mouth the nose, the snout, and then the bottom part his chin. We'll call it nose and chin. So I filled in between that. And then I put a little smile thingy-majig, whatever they're called. One of you told me once. At the end of it, I don't know why. I think the picture I was looking at had that, but I kind of wish I hadn't. And ignore that eye because I wipe it off. So now we're just going to outline carefully with the Double Trouble brush from Ball Pit Nails. Just everything. We're going to outline everything. Are you all okay? How are you all doing? I hope you're all okay. I noticed, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I noticed a couple of you have had a little spending spree on Born Pretty Store, and I would like to applaud you for treating yourself to a lot of nail mail. Don't worry, I don't have any of your details or anything like that or what you ordered, but I just see the amount of sale was that used my discount code. Yay! And it made me really happy that people have been treating themselves. Oh, my niece wanted to put on, do you remember this set? She has the tiniest fingers in the world, so they look ridiculous, but she wanted to try them on, so we just blue tacked them on. Thought I'd show you. It was quite cute. Then she told me that at her school, they're allowed, like some girls have extensions at their school. We weren't allowed that at my school. But only if they're like French tips. And she said that they're allowed gel polish if it's French. She's 11, a bit younger than I would like to put gel polish on someone, but I trust myself, so I gave her a little gel polish French. Right, we are outlining his collar, and then everything else. I thought we were going to start to do something else, but we're not. I hope everybody's okay. Are you well? I hope you're well. If you're new here, hello. I've been chewing your ear off for 10 minutes, but hello. My name is Joseph, and I do nail stuff, which I'm sure you've probably figured out by now. You're smart people. But if you are new, welcome. Thank you. I've seen a few people commenting saying they're new, so welcome to all the new people. I appreciate it so much. It does blow my mind every time. Even one more subscriber, I'm like, what? That's bananas. Oh, the eyes, right. So we brought the snout into the face, and then we're coming straight up from the end of it and then curving round like a little doorway. And then we're doing another curve going down, coming out of the straight line, going down to his snout. And then we're going to fill that in. I should have done it further to the side because I just don't think his eyes look right, especially this one. So we're doing an oval, but kind of two ovals, and one of them doesn't have a side. It's like a number 6. Yeah, it's like a number 6. But straighter on one side. But yeah, I've done... they're not right, are they? He looks weird. Oh, well. He looks weird, and so does Oogie Boogie Boogi. And that's that. So from the side of his collar there, we're just redrawing in that line that we did to first start his body. And then from the collar, I'm just going to do a couple of flicks just to make them look like creases. And then the same on here, just some flicks to make them look like folds. And then I wanted to do him sheer, so he looked see-through. But I was having a day. I was having a really stressy day. So I just couldn't be asked with trying something different. I was in such a bad mood last week. All week I was in a foul mood. Just really irritable and stressy. Oh, we're adding some black under the nose, the top part of his mouth. So that's kind of like inside his mouth, but on the top. Just along the same shape as the sort of snout. And then we're using the orange gel paint to do the circle on his nose, which is definitely bigger than it should be. But I didn't think it would really be seen much if I did it smaller, so I made it extra big. That's fine. And then we're going to outline this circle, the nose. And we'll do a tiny little triangle, and then, or half a triangle, so it's coming off the nail, and then half a smile, so it's a pumpkin face. And then I'm going to do a little curve top to bottom to be one of the sort of dents or fold creases or whatever in a pumpkin. And then I'm adding a little line here. I decided that is going to be the inside of the furthest away arm, in air quotes. So putting that line there, sort of, yeah. It's just made him a bit more dimensional, because that's now the inside, and the white to the left of it is the outside of the side of his body that's furthest away from us. We have mixed the Born Pretty BPCA06, which is a black jelly, with a tiny bit of tiny bit of white. Or was it a tiny bit of the black? No, I think it was a tiny bit of white to make a grey. We filled in the top of that sort of new triangle we created, and then using the other end of this brush, I'm just blending it down. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I really don't. I was stressing out. Dinner for me and Rosie was in the oven. She was texting me, how do I turn the oven off? I was like, ugh! So I was just kind of, yeah, this is just stress painting now. I wasn't in a happy place. I don't know why, I was just being a stressy bitch. And then on the bottom side, the underside of each of these lines, I'm doing that mix again and just fading it out a little bit with this end of the brush, the cleanup end, but also a blendy end. Oh, didn't like those bits. And then we're going to do the same along the side of his ears. Yeah, I just don't know with the shading. Chuck everything to one side. If you're lazy like me and can't be asked to search for a picture that's got shading exactly where you want, or you know, exactly how you want to copy it, or you can't be asked to sort of spend a few minutes actually thinking about where it should be, just chuck everything to the right or the left. Highlights on one side, shading on another, and then blending these out just to make him a bit more interesting, because he was very flat and there's not a lot going on. Same when I did Oogie Boogie. There wasn't much sort of texture or dimension or anything, so I'm just trying to desperately add it. But I figured the folds, those wiggly lines we did on his body, if we put a shadow to one side of them, it will look like a fold, won't it? Yeah, of course it will. And then I'm doing some down the right side of his face, and just blending that a bit, just again to add a bit more something. Even if it doesn't look right, I think it looks a bit more interesting than having no shading. And then we're doing a little bit between the lines of under his collar. Just, I don't know. So I did the lines down the side of those lines. I did the shading down the side of those lines first, didn't like it. So I've done it under the collar as if the collar was forming a shadow. And then I'm taking some white that I've mixed with, is it the same thing? Oh, it's the same mix. And I'm putting some at the front of his mouth and then a bit in his eyes. I have no idea why. I did some in Jack Skellington's mouth and it made, no, in his eyes, sorry. And it made sense that sort of it's lighter towards the outside of your mouth because light would hit it if it's open. And then, you know, full black at the back of his mouth. Talking about the dog again now. So it did kind of make sense, but again, I don't even want to say winging it, because winging it kind of implies that it went well. But I just thought it would add a bit more something. So this has been awful. I'm really, really sorry. A few of you asked for this. I probably wouldn't have done him, but a few of you asked for it, and I thought he would be easy, and he was easy, essentially, but I was just in a shit mood, so nothing was going right. And now we are going over the background with Poltergeist from Ball Pit Nails, which just cheered me up endlessly because look how freaking gorgeous it is. I love it. So put as much on as I could with the polish bottle. No, polish bottle? The bottle brush. And then switching to a detail brush just to get into the little nooks and crannies. And that's that. Have I been really miserable? Oh, I hope not. I had fits of the giggles earlier, which I'll tell you about in an upcoming video, because I saw a couple of things today that just made me laugh so much. And every time I thought about it, I just was in hysterics. And when things like that happen, I'm like, I want to tell the gang. You know, I want to share it with the gang. But I'll do it in another video. Let me know what you think about this kind of real speed. Probably wouldn't work well on a full, you know, on 5 nails detailed set. We'd be here for hours, but I thought this was a good chance to show it at real speed. But again, there was a lot of faffing and wiping and redoing and amount of polish on brush and rewiping, you know, there's all that jazz that goes with it. So even though it's at real speed, it still took longer. Let me know what you think about seeing it that way. I just wanted to spend more time with you. So that is Zero. He is cured and topped. And here he is, looking just as questionable as Oogie Boogie, whatever his name is. I hope you like him. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love to hear from you. If you do like this video, then give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It's Halloween today, but this is going out tomorrow. I hope you've all had a good Halloween yesterday. I appreciate you being here so much. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.